Well, well, well. Look where we're at. Oh, Doc Fauci. Before Congress, pleading the Fifth Amendment. What, 111 times? You know, if you're not guilty, you don't have to plead the Fifth Amendment. But he was pardoned. Stop and think. Why are you pardoned for being innocent? Once again, every time I see politicians open their mouth, it's just stupid. I mean, they grilled him. They exposed him. They called it criminal. But what's going to happen? Probably, unless they totally surprise us all. He's going to be shamed. He's going to certainly lose his celebrity status amongst most people, except his diehard fans. And he'll just fade into the background and be a note in the history books. Will he see prison time? I really have my doubts, but I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I really want to be wrong. And really, I'm not supportive of him being in prison. As much as he has destroyed in this nation regarding we the people, lives, finances, businesses, you name it. His lies, his deception, his pseudoscience destroyed this nation. I don't think a man like that should be complimented by just putting him in prison. Because who's going to foot the bill while he's in prison? More of our tax dollars. And then all the other elected officials that were part of this pandemic, scamdemic scheme, what's going to happen to them? It's proven without question. It's 100% fact that we have a two-tier justice system in this nation. And as good and as good as it sounds when Congress was drilling him with questions and throwing facts in front of his face, and many of them were saying some great, wonderful things. But is it just going to come down once again to a dog and pony show? Our tax dollars is paying for all of this. But what's going to happen? That's the big question. The result, what's the conclusion? If you don't round them all up that were part of this scamdemic that just about pushed us beyond the edge, beyond return as a nation, if they're now all rounded up and all face the same consequences, is Fauci just going to be the scapegoat while the others walk free? Or is he just going to be shamed while he continues to walk free? I mean, he made plenty of money, right? We made a lot of money off that. A lot of people made money off of that. So what's going to happen? I appreciate certain things that are being said and done. Like I said, once again, what's the result? What's the conclusion? What's the consequence? Our lives, liberty, and pursuit of happiness was attacked on a treasonous level. What's going to happen? This is not just a, excuse my example, but this isn't, some guy standing down in the corner selling a 8-ball of cocaine. This isn't somebody selling a little bit of heroin and fentanyl and all that other kind of bullshit. This was treasonous on the highest level. This was an attempt to break America down, to break we the people down, till we become enslaved to their socialist, communistic, fascist agenda. This was to break America down. This was to destroy the lives, the liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, the freedom of we the people. I didn't buy into it from the beginning. I would go into stores without a mask on, and I would be met at the door saying, "Sir, you can't come in here." And I said, "Yes, I can. I'm a free American." "Sir, you can't come in." I just walk right past them. What are they going to do? Call the cops? Well, I never had the cops called on me, and if they would have called the cops on me, what are they going to do? So I never bought into it from the beginning. I remember one time I walked into this store back in Ohio. That's when I lived back in Ohio. A big store, popular store back there. Walked in without a mask, and this elderly gentleman and his wife got close to me and said, "Hey, why don't you have a mask on?" I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "Hey, why don't you have a mask on? Don't you care about people?" I stood there, and of course he was within the 6-foot rule, right? I said, "Well, first of all, sir, you're too close to me, right? You're within 6 feet." He started backing up. I said, "Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you just a simple, logical question. You have a mask on, right?" "Yes." "So I can't catch anything from you because you have a mask on, right?" He just looked at me. I said, "Now, I don't have a mask on, but you have a mask on. So that mask should protect you from anything that I have, right?" He looked at me with this blank look, and he walked away. See, stupid. People don't think. They have a slave mentality. Totally, really, anymore, when I say people are stupid, that's actually a compliment. I don't think there's enough. I don't think their mental condition can be defined. It is so far gone, so degenerate, well, they're brain dead. They're freaking brain dead. And that's, to me, that when I say that, that's still a compliment. I remember when I first moved out here to Arizona, that was toward the tail end of the scamdemic. I went into a Goodwill, trying to find some things for the apartment. Been in there for 10, 15, 20 minutes. This lady finally came up to me and said, "Sir, you can't be in here without a mask." I said, "Well, I've been in here for 15 minutes or more, but you can't be in here." I said, "You know what, lady? I'm going to be in here till I'm done, okay?" Well, she just looked at me and walked away. Me and my son went into a restaurant. Said, "Sir, you can't come in without a mask, but when you get to your table, you can take your mask off." We just walked past her and went to the table, as if the COVID virus knew that once I got to that table, once me and my son got to that table, it could not go any further. Okay. Brain dead. And then I would see individuals walking down the street with a mask on, all by themselves. Stop on the sidewalk, nobody else around, pull the mask down, light up a cigarette, stand there and smoke, and then pull the mask back up. Yeah, okay. Hey, yeah, there's an intelligent individual. Then I would see individuals in a vehicle by themselves with a mask on. Now, we lived in an apartment when we first got out here to Arizona. We lived in an apartment way out on the west side of Tucson, excuse me. And the road that we came in on is called Ajo. And the speed limit, I think, is 65, something like that. I would see individuals in a vehicle by themselves, whether it be a pickup, regular vehicle, whatever, with a mask on. And I'm pretty sure the speed limit was 65. They're doing 85, 90 miles an hour in a vehicle by themselves with a mask on. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I'm out for now.